have to agree now. Did you receive?
Yeah.
Okay. And now we are on YouTube. Okay, here we are, live and in color. Great, great to speak with you, Junior. So we will see, is it only us or if someone else will join
Mhm.
unexpectedly this stream. But for now, it's only us. I haven't prepared much, so because this chat will have many different dynamics.
Mhm.
So
Okay. Me
is
neither.
that
I came ready, so.
okay? That's good. So, but what I did is I asked ChatGPT, to give me like some buzzwords. Give me
Oh,
some buzzword suggestions you can talk about.
mhm.
During stream or talk show. So this is my help to keep this stream working, to keep us talking. And so one buzzword which I would throw in now is artificial intelligence. What comes into your mind now?
When we say AI, there is I just have to say one word that came to my mind when I say AI.
Yeah.
Okay.
What do you connect with AI? So what is it that all for you? So what's
AI for me is advancement for society. But with AI come a lot of good and bad in terms of the use of it, in terms of the data protection, in terms of the structure and the legal, because AI used in Europe is not the same than in US or in Asia. So in terms of all the legal laws, it's a different approach.
yeah.
In terms of job employment as well, based on where, if you are, for example, in the supply chain or a job that require you to be there physically, AI can be as well an opportunity to reduce those jobs and to go to automation. But for people who are more into the data management, you will still need to have data management engineering. You will still need to have those people to process those machines and to do all the coding. So there is a big increase in terms of recruitment as well. We can see on LinkedIn for people in those careers.
And how are you using AI at the moment in your daily life or in your, I mean, daily life, job, hobbies, etc.?
Yep, I started to use like all of you ChatGPT for my podcast.
Yeah.
Some when I wanted to find like really small caption, but really captivating as well.
Mhm.
So it was giving me some input, but I always take the time after to rephrase and not copy paste because I want to use my own touch as well and
Yeah.
keep that authenticity.
Mhm.
But yeah, the way they even improve themselves from the last few years has been phenomenal.
Yeah.
And we, where is the limit in terms of ethic? That's the big question that we
Mhm.
need to ask ourselves when we are using AI.
Yeah. It's a big topic, and it goes, it affects us in so many ways. And
Mhm.
actually, everything AI is part of it
Yeah,
nowadays. Everything, but in so many things. And and so it's we are confronted daily with new AI possibilities or things that we don't know. I mean, well, I think we are not AI nerds, and so the possibilities that are already the things that you can do with AI are huge already, but we're still in the beginning. And so I, for example, I will use AI as well to actually edit this stream, so I don't do this all by myself. I rely on a tool that actually will edit this stream into many different videos, so that you have like a glimpse of it, so that you can actually put 1 minute videos on Instagram, on TikTok, and by that getting more visibility and audacity through that. And because if you do this all by yourself, it's a lot of work. And well, I mean, probably the quality
Mm-hmm.
will be no, it wouldn't. Well, it's you're still more in a position where you are the master of it, but you give a little bit away from that. You actually you rely a little bit on AI, because AI does a good job, but it's not you. So you need to train the AI. But if you, yeah, let's say if you did this all by yourself,
Mm-hmm.
it would probably still be a different outcome, and it might be better, but you cannot produce the same quantity. Let's say if I actually added this video stream
Yeah.
after after we finished it, it would mean a lot of work, hours and hours and hours. Now I actually can push this through a machine or through a software, and it takes half an hour and everything, and it can cut this stream into many one video clips, which are very suitable for TikTok,
Yeah.
let's say. So this
Yeah,
is
you're right. Because now with some function setting of AI, because now that the version 4.2 or 4.5, I'm right. You
yeah
can put personal documents, scan them. So it's like amazing. You can put short videos if you don't
yeah
have the version as well, and they're reshaping it, yeah, with the amount of money minute that you want. So yeah, there is a big increase in terms of knowledge of algorithm, because
yeah
algorithm is the key point for AI. The way how the data is processed, um, and the fact that it's automated as well. It's a key component of the usage. Like you said, we don't have to put it manually by just scanning or just paraphrasing. The AI can already give you a big structure of what you desire in a fraction of a second.
yeah
So in terms of the customer experience, that society is promoting time management. We want to gain time. We want to be fast. We don't want to waste your time. So it responds to the consumer and business expectation.
yeah
Um, yeah, and as well, AI, it's a part of the correlation, if I can say, with AI and Web3, because we need to be aware as well of the importance of Web3, if we can go to that direction, because it's another way as well of using internet and approaching internet. Web2 was more centric. Now with Web3, we are decentralize the use of internet. Then it goes with NFT. Then it goes with a virtual. Uh,
reality.
yeah. So yeah, it's like expanding in so many directions.
Yeah, in so many different directions, so many different subjects, internet of things, and so many nerdy things that I cannot comprehend. I
Mhm.
mean, the first, maybe I'm either too old, or it's just very complex. You just talked about NFT. I know I have not not a clue about this, to be honest. I know it's non-fungible.
Fungible token.
This is what it means, but I couldn't explain this, So that's that, and I don't understand. I don't understand this. But at least the things that I understand and that are relevant for me, that um I try to implement it into my daily life. And as I said, I use this program to edit the videos. I use ChatGPT. I just did it now to be prepared for this stream, and I'm just learning every day about the new opportunities that arise on a daily basis.
Mhm.
I find it amazing. I can tell you one thing about my son. Maybe you know now you can actually upload photos on ChatGPT.
Yeah, yeah,
And so I uploaded 3 photos of my newborn son,
yeah.
and I asked ChatGPT, um, could you give me, please describe this baby that you see, and what makes this baby, if there are any remarkable things about this baby. And so then ChatGPT said, okay, it appears to be a newborn, by the face structure. It may have either a mixed ethnicity, it may be Asian or mixed ethnicity,
Mhm.
and it has what makes what stands out is that he has lots of hair
Yeah.
for a newborn, and that his eyes are very awake. And
Mhm.
so this is what ChatGPT could tell me, or to how to it tried to describe the picture based on based on what on pictures and based on my command, on my prompt. And it's quite significant. So they try to make this as least biased as possible. So they say, okay, well, about the ethnicity, this is cannot be fully determined, blah blah blah. But we can actually estimate, and so this was quite accurate, I would say. And
Mhm. But the thing is as well, with putting pictures of ourselves, or families or relatives or whatever, or even a document, because no matter what, uh, where is we go back with the ethical question, because all the data at the end of the day, they are registered on the data center.
yeah,
So, where is the limit? Because the blueprint is there. And
mm,
at the end of the day, ChatGPT is collecting those data who can be, so this is why some company doesn't want anymore to have them, the employees using them, because some employee who are using it and putting some coding things, but then after it can go with all the competitor, and ChatGPT itself can
yeah,
collect the information. So we need to be careful as well. But like every new tools that are growing quickly, uh, we don't know the full potential of it. So it's again personal, consumer wise, that you need to have towards those new tools. But the thing is that as well, it's changing so quickly. Internet, and with the hybrid cloud, with the automation, the virtualization, what you learn in 1 hour can change 2 hours later. So being on track to all new solutions, SaaS, PaaS solution, yeah, it's like it can give you a big headache as well. So now
yeah,
we go with NFT. Like you said, the NFT is really complex. It's non-fungible token, but what does that mean? It means that you cannot really touch those. If I understood well, you can make money of those non-fungible tokens, but it never really it's kind of putting a blueprint on it and your own signature. So when people are using, they can resell it. So it's like, yeah, it's another world. It's a bit complex for me as well. I didn't deep dive into
But
it.
but
Mhm.
it's a little bit, there was a big hype about NFT,
Mhm.
and the hype has gone a bit. How would you reckon? Oh, what is your observation on that?
But the high has been gone because people realize, okay, now we have money through our image that we can dissecate, if I can say that, and we sell it by a little. Uh, it's not pixel, but
Yeah.
through one pixel, you can. I don't know the word in English, but by one section that you divide, you can resell, blah blah blah. It's just because people realize as well, okay, you have more virtual money, but in the physical world, because no matter what, we still have to go through the physical world. So when you need to withdraw that money, then it's getting more complicated, and the value that you have on the virtual world is not the same on the physical world. So that's where is the challenge at the moment. The same with the cryptocurrency. There were
Yeah.
big hype with it because people get rich, kind of random people. The masses could come become rich with the Bitcoin or any crypto money.
Yeah.
But then they realize with the tax and everything, when they have to withdraw that money, it's not the same. And the law, the government start to put legislation as well into that because there were a lot of scams. Because no matter what, it's physical money that are sent to the virtual world that are collected through the data center. And those physical machines still need to be maintained. So even though the data is a currency, that virtual currency can be converted into a physical currency. And that's
Mm.
why when you want to withdraw that virtual currency to a physical currency, that's why it's a challenge that
Mm.
we try to find a bridge where people are not losing what they earn in
Yeah.
the virtual world into the physical world. That's what I observe, at least. Yeah,
And
it's my own observation.
yeah, and what's your take on cryptocurrencies? Are you investing yourself?
No, not any
No.
cryptocurrency.
Hmm. But I mean, you seem to have some knowledge about NFT, so then I think it's quite. I mean, it's not very far-fetched to think about cryptocurrencies as well. So therefore, I thought you might have an interest in cryptocurrencies as well, but you don't have.
No, I don't because I like to be I work in a sale. I've been in the IT industry since the last 6 years, 7 years, sorry. Pardon.
Yeah.
So, it's part of my job as well to be on top of the new technology. But it doesn't mean because there is new technology that I have to jump into it.
Mm.
It's important as well to observe how it evolve, how is it maintaining, and like you said, there is always a hype, but then after, or you can sell that to the masses or the businesses or the governance, and or they can as well have easy use of those new tools.
Mm.
And that's where is the big challenge too, to make it function and enjoyable for everyone without breaking confidentiality, data, and be able as well to manage that money at some point to into the physical world because a token it's the proof, so it's like your own signature that you put into a virtual image. So
Yeah.
like the trench marking,
It's an
so
artwork. It's
yeah,
an art. Mm.
we know that it belongs to you.
Yeah.
Uh, because that's the thing as well with all the social media by putting your picture, your photo, your videos. Some artists and some professionals were not rewarded or were not paid with their own work, and it could be stolen. Sorry. So
Yeah.
the NFT allow as well to have that traceability, that blueprint into the virtual world.
Hmm. Yeah. Um, Anyways, cryptocurrency into my mind when you spoke about NFTs because I'm actually investing in cryptocurrencies as well now for 3 years.
Mhm.
Um, I wouldn't call myself an expert, and I think for me, it's not really. People try to make this a science, but I personally believe it's like no, it's not nothing really science.
Hmm.
It's just gambling, and
Yeah.
some people will actually tell me no, it's not, but I believe it is. And actually, I was lucky when I invested into cryptocurrencies in the last years, and but it could have gone the other way as well. And I
Hmm.
still invest into cryptocurrencies, but I could as well do bets on horse races or on dog
Hmm.
races or football. It's the same, you know, because you try what I mean. You try to foresee certain things, and you observe like the horses. You observe when you're into horse races. You're probably observing what's how fast the horse ran in previous races, and how well it was trained and how old it is, and you know some other factors. The same applies to football, and
Hmm.
you can find some continuities, but in the end, even in football as well, Bayern Munich, the best team in Germany, could also lose against a team that is you know that plays in the third league, and so therefore it's it's really you can just well there's a probability that you can um, that you that you can estimate, but there are so many other factors that can come into play that cause a different outcome. And so if there's an injured player, or if yeah, I don't know, there's many things which are not um, pres- predictable, or which cannot be taken into consideration before that. So I believe in the end, it's all about luck and gambling, regardless you do yeah, in all investments, you know. So it's just about some things have more a higher probability, are more reliable, but on the stock market as well, a black swan event can damage everything, and you know there's always an X component
Hmm.
which makes it unpredictable, or which can there's not a full certainty on that. It's still gambling, and thus you know I I cannot really listen to these people who are very into cryptocurrencies, because there are
Yeah.
many people I said, you can learn how cryptocurrencies, you can understand this, but I believe it's not
It's not
it's
that complex.
science.
And the fact as well, it's important that you say that you have people teaching you how to be a cryptocurrency master or trader in 2 3 weeks or 3 6 months.
Yeah.
As well, it's kind of abuse as well. One of the excess of the use of the cryptocurrency, like everything, you have people jumping into it and make a misuse of the tools because they still pattern into it's mathematics, it's finance, it's a bit of science, and it's a bit of luck as well, actually gambling.
Yeah.
So, you know, uh, and it's something new as well. So, yeah, if you put your head into it, sorry, you might have the basic. If you want to be really a professional, yeah, why not? Let's do it for yourself, for your own education, and then build up a proper legacy with the cryptocurrency. Because I truly believe that there is a lot of potential, and we saw that there are a lot of people who became rich
Yeah,
making profit of it.
there's
So,
I mean cryptocurrencies. I mean there's potential in cryptocurrencies, no
mhm,
doubt about this. But I mean like from the perspective as investment, you know. So I mean, Bitcoin has probably its place on the finance market, and it's can actually change the whole dynamic of economies and so on. But like putting this or just seeing this as investment only, I believe it's gambling. And of course, you can have you know, you can be lucky with that, and you can. It's not impossible to make a shitload of money with that and have a good instinct. But yet it's there's no certainty about this. You know, you can be a lucky guy or girl or whatever, or you can have have a lot of shit, bad luck with that.
Yeah.
Or so yeah. So in the end,
Like
for me,
anything, you don't have to put your all your eggs on the same basket, you know. So
yeah, yeah, right.
you need to have different revenue stream, and it's good to once again invest on the cryptocurrency, the new trend, NFT, because that's the way as well we are moving. So by not knowing it, we are kind of left behind. And for me, it's important to even if you are aging, to always kind of keep educating on yourself because it's an investment that nobody can take it. So we don't ask you to be an expert, but to have the general understanding of it. Because you can see just the fact as well that now we are able to tap in with our credit card only with our phone. It's a big investment, term of investment, sorry.
Mhm.
So all of that, knowing how to put your credit card, scan it with your phone, all of that, it looked like simple for us because we were into it. We are that generation, but the generation who were in generation X, Y, Z, I don't remember. No, there's so many of them. They really born into it during the peak of
Mm.
internet and all those
Yeah,
progress. So for them, it's like boom, 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 it switches straight away. For
yeah.
us, it still require because we saw the evolution, the progress of it. So yeah, I think it's still important to have the basic knowledge of it, but it all depends of the intention and the use you want to make it of it. Like
Mm.
every tool.
Yeah, yeah, well, I mean, there's no harm in learning more about this, and like I had no interest in these things before COVID, I must say, and then I suddenly was into all this, into stocks, into cryptocurrencies, and I've made, you know, I've been lucky with that, but it could have gone the other way as well, but actually, no, COVID. Was you know, game changer for me in this you know, and it's you know, now I have a few more interests, and of course for someone who has no interest in this whatsoever, I'm an expert, but I would never call myself an expert for this because there are people much more knowledgeable about
Mhm.
this. But for other people may see me as an expert because it's just the fact that I know more about a specific subject as someone else. I will be the expert for this person. You know
Yeah,
what I mean? Yeah,
yeah, everyone can become an expert for somebody else.
yeah. I mean, like, I don't know. For your parents or grandparents, you are an expert in computers. You know,
Mhm.
but yeah. But you know, there are people, like, no offense, who are much more knowledgeable about, you know, computers than yourself. But I mean, for someone else who has no knowledge about this at
Mhm.
all, you are the expert, you know, um, and so you know, it's definitely good to have an interest in this. It was of help for me when I got into all this. It's helped me to get some money with that, and yeah.
Mhm.
But again, so it's gambling, and as we talk about COVID and all, you know, AI and what
Mhm.
has actually how the world has changed since then. It's a good buzzword for, well, it's a good introduction into another subject, remote work. That because that was also one of the buzzwords that were suggested when I asked ChatGPT before this talk. And so remote work. What can you tell us about remote work?
Remote work has changed worldwide of a way of approaching work, but approaching society simply. So again, it depends on the sector that you are working in. Some sector will require to be physically present to operate. But then there is again the automation possibility where you will not need to have two people to secure the machine or secure the supply chain or whatever, but only one person. I think in terms of the benefit, it gives the employees the opportunity to focus more on himself and use that time for its personal development, creativity, or what he want to put its mind to. And it's a new opportunity as well for the real estate because last time I was watching a documentary in America where there is a big competition with that where those non-occupied building now they try to sell them on the market to either create new accommodation because it responds as well with a house crisis that is happening a bit everywhere in the world. So it's a new opportunity to reshape those buildings and give them a second life. But then the contractor or the investor who put that money, for sure, they don't want that because they want to have a return on investment. Yeah. So this is why they are pushing back as well for employees to go back to the office and bring the collaboration spirit. We come together because, yeah, that's true. When you are physically there in terms of creativity and work dynamic and culture of the enterprise, it's more beneficial because the virtual and the meeting has its limit as well, you know. It was good to have those Zoom meeting online, but we know to keep the attention during the meeting of your employees. At some point, there have been statistics proven that it was decreasing.
Yeah.
So, in terms of the quality of life for the employee, yeah, it's a beneficial. You're not wasting your time in the public transport. I think remote and hybrid still need to be optional. But yeah, employers are pushing back in some sector to bring their employees in. But in hybrid for the people who still search for that connection and need to and like to meet physically people, it's still good option because we don't have to only focus on remote. I think remote and hybrid still need to be the new dynamic how we are putting work.
Yeah. Just give me 1 minute. I'm roasting at the moment. I need to turn off the heating.
Yeah, no
We'll back a few aspects of remote work because this is one of my favorite topics. 1 second, please.
Yeah.
Yeah. Here I am again. Yeah. Yeah. Interesting thoughts that you have, and I mostly agree on that. And I personally believe that that remote work should be voluntarily. I think because some people will go to the office regardless of well, yeah, I mean, because they prefer to have this human connection. But what I see nowadays after the pandemic is that um, that companies, corporates are now um, really pushing their employees, or actually forcing their employees to go back to the office because they want to change the status quo. So like 2 years ago, during the pandemic, it was accepted. We figured that remote work is working fine,
Mhm.
and that um, that there's no decrease of productivity.
Productivity. Yeah.
Yeah, and that there was no issue about achieving goals like when people had to work from home. And
Mhm.
now actually the trend goes the other way. So we have actually given the proof that remote work is doing very well and
Mhm.
has no negative impact on the productivity. And
Mhm.
yet, unfortunately, where we already have tested it and where we already know that it's working fine, and the reality is different. So the corporates are now forcing their employees to go back to the office regardless, and also like some of them are even threatening with disciplinary actions.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is a very bad development at the moment, and there are many more other aspects, societal aspects about this. So I totally agree that a human connection, or that is a Zoom meeting,
Mhm.
cannot fully replace the face-to-face communication. And it's good to meet in person,
Mhm.
but it doesn't have to be the office. It could be in a restaurant. It could be Starbucks, or it could be in a park when the weather's good. It could be anywhere, meeting up with people who live in the same area, and
Mhm.
that's totally fine. But you don't need these huge offices, because these huge offices um, are actually um, are having a very bad impact on the housing crisis. We are bit there's always money, and there are resources to build offices and offices like we see here in Cork, where we both live. You know,
Mhm.
there are huge offices that have been built, hotels have been built, but not in the same pace, or at least, I mean, I'm not talking about the same pace. I think there should be always far more houses than offices, than hotels. But this is not happening at the moment. And we should actually convert offices into houses.
Mhm.
But it's not happening. It would be the most doable solution at the moment, because we already have these buildings, and these buildings are not really they have not been fully let out, and
Yeah.
they're not occupied, and they actually, there are so many empty offices, empty spaces, and we could simply say, okay, let's turn them into houses. That's not happening, and this is a very sad, because the solution, I mean, this would be a
Mhm.
great way how to tackle this severe housing crisis at the minute, but we're not doing it, and the trend goes in the other direction. So I was even forced to go to the office in Dublin, like, which is like 3.5 hours away from Cork by bus, and there was no concession from from their side whatsoever. And so they were very strict about this. And I actually said, okay, no, I cannot do this. I will not move to Dublin, because Dublin, there's no point for me moving to Dublin, because of many reasons. And one reason is the rents are too high. And it's a shame that this is happening at the moment. And unfortunately, I must say I'm pessimistic about this, that this is going to change. We are in the process of accepting this new this old normal, like the standard that we had pre-pandemically. And I now believe the only thing that can bring us back to this level would be another pandemic, and there will be hybrid options.
We don't wish that. No, it makes sense. But I think, the fact that I saw that in that documentary, it's mean that it's starting to be in the conscious of people and investor and employers and business owner, building owner to give a second life to those buildings instead of just keeping them and not being used and uh, just after being refurbished and left behind. In terms of some employer who are forcing the employees to go back, I think it's a bit unethical. Again, it depends on what the contract said, because they always like to put in a clause your shift can be adapted based on the business needs, So by signing that, you give your right to the business if any change happen for the growth of the business or any other reason, to be able to adapt your time for them. So we need to be aware as well of that understanding when we sign the contract.
Yeah.
And secondly, there is a bit of unethical and abuse from employers. One of a friend of mine was forced to go back to the office, but he lived a bit far away, 2-3 hours. So for him, it was not interesting. The remote work was a good option for him to keep working, quality life and time consuming. So he decided to stay the person decided to stay at home. But what they told him, in the other hand, they say, okay, if you choose remote work, in that case, you might be limited for your career growth.
Yeah.
And that's not okay, It's definitely unethical to disadvantage somebody who decide to stay at home to do his work and still performing like the same as a person who go to the office. And that person should have more opportunity in terms of a career growth, because that person go to the office. So I think we can see, unfortunately, start to see a battle and dissociation between, okay, if you go to remote, you're gonna have that advantage, but in terms of career wise, you will be limited, and that's not okay,
No, that's not okay. And it cannot be something that they tell you, okay, that you will be limited, because it should not be like a threatening, like, it's it should be voluntarily. And as I said, I believe that some people want to go to the office and some people prefer not to do this, and some people are willing to say, okay, let's meet once a month or once per quarter, and it's totally fine. And I also understand the point that you cannot work like from anywhere because of taxation reasons. So some workations, that's understandable, because I think this is would be very bad for the economy. Like, if you, let's say, you are working for an US company that has its headquarters in Ireland, and you will be going to Jamaica for like 3-6 months, or like, I don't know, Philippines, South Africa, because this is actually, this is, I believe you should spend the money in the country where you are employed at, and you actually also these people. There's a lot of um, how to say it's a hype about this digital nomads thing, and I think it also has some dark sides too, because you're actually you're ruining also the economy in poorer countries with yeah with people who earn like you
Less than
know
what you have
yeah.
from the normal wage.
It means like you, let's say you are employed for an Irish company
Mm-hmm.
and you go to Philippines for 6 months or something like that. And so that means you actually rent out an Airbnb so that you actually a take the a possible accommodation of a local,
Mm-hmm.
and you are in a very privileged position
Yeah,
there, compared to the locals
local. Yeah.
who live there, and you live in a bubble as well. You among your own people, your digital nomads. You spend hours in a cafe. You only drink one coffee, and you don't do any good for their business. So it also has some bad sides. I mean, I personally find it very sexy to have this option, like working for like no like a few weeks, like
Yeah,
3 weeks
I,
outside another country. But it's problematic. It's problematic if I don't spend the money I earn in the country where I'm employed at. This is what I mean. Do you
mhm.
understand?
Yeah, I understood. But I want to say about regarding what you just highlight, there is still a difference between working in the country itself, but in a different city and do remote work,
Yeah.
then hiding to your employer, then you go work abroad for 6 months,
Mm.
and
Yeah,
because that one,
that's another thing. I mean, like
yeah,
doing
that's two
six
other
months is
things,
another
and
thing than doing
and that
it.
one as well need to be. I think it's all about the policy. It's all about putting policies that benefit both, uh,
Mm.
and be aware of the change of the actual world that we are living in. But then after digital nomad, people who gonna go live 6 months in the country and they're not paying the tax,
They
especially.
don't pay, yes, exactly. They don't pay the taxes in the country where they live. And I
Mhm.
think this is not okay. This is one thing. And I don't know, it's too I don't have the word in English now, but it's a too romantic idea of this digital no nomad thing. And it's also
But
it's
it's another way to say sorry, I'm gonna be hard on that, but just the approach of neo-colonialism.
Yeah, well, if you don't pay taxes, the country where you spend most of the time, then it's not so far-fetched what you say. I mean, it would be okay if you actually stay there, pay taxes, and contribute something to the
Mhm.
society. But I know most digital nomads. I met a few in
Mhm.
Vietnam while ago. They don't pay taxes in Vietnam. They stay there, like, I don't know, 2 months, and then they go to Thailand, go to, I don't know, Cambodia, and they have a very privileged lifestyle. They take everything for granted that they can actually
Mhm.
travel in between those countries, and are unaware of their privileges in terms of having a strong passport, which allows them to do all these things. Because if I hadn't one of these strong passports, traveling is not that easy, especially crossing borders is a very difficult thing.
Mhm.
And most digital nomads um, see this as everyone can do this.
Yeah.
But in fact, not everyone can do this. You need to have the right passport
Mhm.
for that. This is a privilege that you have been granted by birth, and if you have a Syrian passport, you cannot even, or let's say if you have a passport from South Sudan, you cannot
Yeah.
even go to your neighbor country. You would probably never granted a visa for a European country unless you are from, I don't know, you belong to, you are the son of the prime minister, you know,
Mm-hmm.
and that's another thing that comes with it. And but this is a little bit off topic.
Yeah.
You know, and just, but I, you know, when I talked about the vocation, I ended up with the digital nomad, and I'm not against vocation. Cannot compare this to this idea of living there and there and don't and not paying any taxes. But again, I believe, or what I experienced 2 years ago when I worked at LinkedIn was that LinkedIn said, we don't force anyone going to the office. There's
Mm-hmm.
no one size fits all. And unfortunately, 2 years later, they have um, they have refrained from this idea. They said they now have a different policy, a different approach. Everyone has it's hybrid. It's hybrid.
Mm-hmm.
You have to be there twice, once per week or so. And this is a different approach, and is something that I don't like. And it's unfortunately a trend that most companies are
Yeah,
for. And
you're right
I
on
don't,
that.
yeah, see,
Because they impose the day where you should go to the office. And I think hybrid with all the advantage that give you term of the hybrid model in terms of employee satisfaction, like balance, time, everything that we highlight earlier, uh, should come as well from the own decision of the employees,
mm,
because you still have the right to decide which day fits you the most to be able to balance with your personal life. So this is why it's hybrid mode. Otherwise, it's a physical attendance or it's fully remote. But hybrid work should give you the opportunity to balance yourself, your your work and your personal life the way you desire, not imposed. Otherwise,
yeah,
it's another way of putting micromanagement,
yeah,
presenting micromanagement from.
yeah. And I made the experience as well when I went to the office in Dublin that I didn't even speak to anyone from my team because
Hmm.
they had hot desk, and if you didn't book soon enough,
Yeah,
then
you don't have.
had to choose any seat. And so there was actually no you know, I couldn't talk to anyone, and it was not noisy. And this happens nowadays everywhere because the offices are actually full. So let's say there are offices that have space for 300 people, but
Hmm.
500 people work for the company. And
Hmm. But
so
it could be one of the disadvantage as well. Now they are reducing as well the capacity of
mm,
employees attending to the office. So
yeah,
when people are coming back, and it's more people expected than from what they provide, it's a disadvantage. And the fact as well with the hybrid work, um, when you have technical issue with your laptop online, uh, having because in terms of most of the company are doing outsourcing as well for IT resolution in terms of
mm,
cost and everything. So when you have someone from another country who try to resolve your technical issue rather than having the opportunity to go to the office and to have the IT team like you used to, you can resolve a technical issue of all the employees' laptop. Yeah, it's like
mm,
how do we balance that as well?
yeah. Yeah, yeah, that's the thing. So it's a lot of organizational work as well, and so I think it's mm, no, no, it's we don't need this policy of being there all the time, and we could actually reduce office spaces. We could meet
Mm.
anywhere else. It doesn't have to be an office. It could be a restaurant. Yeah, I don't know if the weather's
But
great, anything.
that one will be more for socializing. But for example, if there is a project that need to be maintained, yeah, having those spaces and the opportunity given to the employees to go back to the office to increase productivity and cohesion between different departments, yes, go for it, you know. Uh,
Yeah.
then because we are living in a fast-paced world worldwide where there are different culture, where we are working at different time frame as well, when we need to connect based on the department that you are, sometimes you need to be in touch with your US counterpart. So all of
Yeah.
that as well, being remote, it's easier because you know, okay, you can connect from your home. Uh, with the time difference, going at the office at 5 a.m., it means that you need to wake up at 3. So there is a lot of comfort of being remote, like there is a lot of advantage of being hybrid too. It's all, I think, as it's something new, we don't have the full spectrum of how we can adapt for the masses, but as well, we need to have that flexibility of adapting case by case.
Yeah. Yeah. How much time do you have left?
I would say again 20 minutes. Would
Okay,
it work
okay.
for
So
you?
yeah, then let's have a last one, last buzzword. Social media influencers.
Social media. Social media is
Influencers.
one word.
So social media influencers.
Ah, influencer. Oh, okay. Um, I would say, what's the word in English? Um, um, it's breaking visionaries.
Hmm.
By that I mean it's another way of marketing yourself, um, and marketing your brand. But we can see there is abuse and misleading,
Hmm.
and there is a fake vision of what life is. It's a new job being a social media influencer
Hmm.
because for the brand who are looking for expanding the brand, they go through those social influencer. So they are kind of a salesperson, you know. So it's another way of promoting the sale and the marketing. But then there is that for the new generation, where we go back to the new generation who are born into those social media, internet advancement. There is a disparity with what reality is, and it can mislead the youth based on the message that those influencers want to pass down. There is a lot of mental issue as well coming from that by linked to the image of the people who are following them, because social media is putting what you want to show, and usually people want to show their best. So, and those influencers, they are making money on how we look at them.
Hmm.
So, I truly respect the people who are doing that because it's being as well 24/7 on your phone, on your computer. You be driven by that, and I'm already working 8 hours behind a computer and with my podcast, doing all the editing. Sometimes I'm like more than 12 hours behind screen.
Yeah.
and it's already tiring me, so I wouldn't be able to be a social media influencer.
Yeah. So would you like to be a social media influencer yourself?
No, because I with my podcast, I'm meant to be exposed and to show part of my business because my face is part of my business.
Mhm.
So I will be more public, I would say. But
Yeah.
it's not I am more public that I don't want to keep my privacy because people tend to think that they know you as well, that they are close friends. But at the end of the day, we are strangers.
Mm.
And those as well. People who say we are family, which is great because that's a lot of support. They're the one who are making your business grow, and that's your community. So again, it's all about the value that you want to bring by being a social media influencer. Um, yeah, for me, it's all about the mindset that you put by doing it, the value that you have, the authenticity. If it's only focused on money wise, the reality will teach you. Life will teach you in the hard way as well.
But let's say you have your ideals, and if you see yourself an idealist, and if you have like lots of followers, you are actually in a position of being an influencer, and you
Hmm.
can actually change things in the way that you like, you know, seeing all the best things in the world and being an influencer, being idealistic. Um, don't you think that this would be a good thing for you if you because being an influencer means like having power, and the word itself explains it, influence, you know? So you can actually influence the people that admire you, that follow you.
Hmm.
At the same time, you will also have people who hate you. So this is the downside side of it. But don't you think like if you had, you know, follower power, do you believe that you can change the world into a better place, or let's say into a more positive place for yourself?
Yeah, definitely, because the message is spread out way faster than when you do around your inner cycle or with your daily cycle that you are gravitated around. So definitely by being a social media influencer, yeah, you have an impact. But it's not the only way to impact people.
Mm.
Media is only one tool, but there are so many other tools. By being a public speaker, by creating physical events, by being a trainer, by taking part to a project in your job, you're already influencing those people, and you planting the seeds. So again, people look at the number, but it's not the always the big number in one shot that's gonna make the difference. It's as well all the consistency and the daily message that you are putting out
Mhm.
that make the impact as well. You know, you don't have to limit every little effort. It's still an effort, and it's still an impact that you create in people's life because people want to people. I have the impression that the new generation is a lot into admiring,
Yeah.
and for me, that's something that I'm really cautious about it. I can be inspired by others, but I will not fall into admiration of somebody else
Mm.
because they're still human like me, and
Yeah.
they're not better than me, and I'm not better than them. So why should I put myself into a bubble of admiring somebody when I have as well the resources in me to impact at my own level? And if I keep pushing, yeah, I can even impact better, you know. But it's all about the consistency that you put into how you want to impact others.
Mm. I mean, I think everyone tries to influence others, and even
Mm-hmm.
if your relationship, like among your own people, and
Mm-hmm.
social media influence, it just means that you're reaching also people outside of your friends and family,
Mm-hmm.
um, but I mean, but most people already have a social media account and are influences in that way that you are preaching something, or that you are posting a message, and some have many followers and some have not so many followers, and the only difference is the amount of followers that
Mm-hmm.
one has, and the influence on that people that follow this person is, so not follower means not all the followers that someone has are admirer, that are people that admire and follow blindly what
Mm-hmm.
this person does, but some of them, or in some cases, many of them, are doing this. And so, yeah, so now I actually lost lost
It's okay.
my lost my path, but isn't it fascinating that like, well, it's that's how that people who had no voice before
Mm-hmm.
suddenly became influencers, and
Yeah, that's crazy.
being seen as something important,
Yeah, or quickly you can become someone, you know.
Yeah.
And I think as well, because we talk about the numbers, but we need to understand as well there is a science behind being an influencer, the algorithm, the way you earn money. Because when you reach 10K, you only start to get paid not so much money, you know,
Mm.
it's 1,000 euro. So and so you don't have to think because you have 2, 3, 5,000 that wow. It's really when you start to reach Instagram set up some
Mm.
bracket
Yeah, yeah.
to because you bring revenue to you don't have to forget that you bring revenue to the platform. The platform
Mm.
doesn't belong to you. You are using a platform to sell your things or to showcase your art
Yeah.
or put your message out. So there is traffic coming to that platform, and that's generating money for that platform.
Yeah.
So you know there is all. It's not only we need to see
You're
as well.
actually an employee of Instagram.
Pardon?
You are actually an employee of
Yeah,
Instagram.
that's
Yeah.
it. You know, you need to see all the structure. That's the way I always break it down, the system, how it works, and
Yeah.
how I benefit from it. But at the end of the day, I'm using a platform.
Yeah,
It's mine.
exactly. Like when the internet was new, celebrities had websites, and
Mhm.
so actually they were a little bit more independent, but now they actually fully rely on a platform like X, TikTok, Instagram, and well, the good thing is now everyone can be on this platform, but on the other hand, it's you're actually promoting a platform, and you can not reach the same people with website only, unfortunately, and there's no independence. So there's a big corporate behind that, which is another aspect of it, which I haven't thought through. Thanks for that.
And
And
as well, the point that I want to do is to say it's okay. You see the number, but how many by working in the IT as a retention specialist, you know, how many followers do you retain on daily basis on your platform? Because you
hmm,
can have 1 million follower, but only have half or even less than half of it coming to your profile. So, or even less. Sometimes when you see on the post, the famous people who are celebrity already, they don't have to even think about it. But when you are building up your identity, your visual identity, you can have 20,000 or 300,000 followers, but you can see some posts they only have 6,000 people liking it. So there is a no.
Exactly. Not, well, it's only about what can be measured. And let's say if you don't have to be an influencer, but if you use social media for your own business and you are posting something on LinkedIn, on wherever, on Instagram, and you have one posting like with on, let's say, LinkedIn, you have a post with 50,000 views and I don't know how many likes, let's say 20,000 likes and so many comments. And but what was the outcome of it? Not much. So but it may be that you posted something like you had a post with like maybe that only had 2,000 views, but it happened and not many likes, and it happened that someone that you caught the attention of someone who read this but not even left a like or comment under the posting, and you stay in his or her mind, and this person then considers you next time, as as good someone for his business, or as some interesting podcast or whatever your business is, and but this will not be measured. So actually in the end you can say this posting that had much less views and engagement had a bigger impact on your business than the other posting. So it's not only about the numbers, it's not only what can be measured, unfortunately, but unfortunately it is actually, it's only what can be measured matters in the end. So it's only about clicks and views and engagement. And but it's not, unfortunately, it's not. But this is how we actually now define success. We define success by engagement on a social media post, and there are so many things that fall under the radar that applies to not only to social media, that applies also in working life, KPIs, key performance indicator, just for people who don't know this term. So like the performance that is measured on you, which is only black, white, and it will never be, it's not being contextualized in the business, in the company itself. So like if you have a target, a commission target, for example, and you are doing a great job, but one of your customers is actually bankrupt and will not buy your products anymore, and that actually has a bad impact on your statistic. And but you will only say, okay, why has this person not reached its target? It doesn't contextualize the external factors. And unfortunately, we are living right now in a world which only goes by data, data only that can be measured, and does not put all the other external factors into context. Unfortunately, this is what
you're right. We focus on data centric when external factor as well are as much as important and part of the variable.
Right. Great, Junior. I think we can call it a day now. Would be great to do this again with you, because you have a good how to say, general knowledge, and it seems as you have been prepared on the questions
Not at
before
all. It's only improvisation.
listening.
I'm telling you because I didn't know the topic, so I
Yeah,
really by myself my own education and my
yeah,
passion, what I know and what I observe, because I'm someone who observe a lot as well, and I like as well to break it down. Not only okay, the system behind and how they want us to interact with the tool or the new system put in place. So I'm really detail oriented. So this is why when I try to understand something, I try to understand it from different perspective and different approach.
yeah,
Um, so yeah, that was giving my answer, but I have no clue about what we're going to talk. So
yeah.
I'm glad
Well,
that you enjoy the interaction.
yeah, great, great, great. Yeah, cool. So I will now close the live stream.
Mhm.
Hang